A lot has been happening lately in the world of PlayStation, and I kind of wanted to cover my thoughts on things that have already been confirmed. So, I don't want to talk about too many rumors. Actually, I don't want to talk about rumors at all. We do have some pretty interesting rumors going around at the moment about a 2.5D God of War game, and while that is interesting until that is confirmed, which might happen tonight at SGF, but besides the point, I just want to talk about a few things that I have found over the last few weeks that have really interested me, and a lot of them are going to come from State of Play. So let's hop into the State of Play news and what has really caught my eye in terms of what Sony is doing in the State of Play and in their future, in their immediate future. And I think a lot of it has come down to the fact that now we do have a GTA 5 or GTA 6 release window, so a lot more publishers are more comfortable announcing that their games are coming out this year at the end of the year in that specific time frame where they thought GTA 6 was going to come out, and sort of aligning their targets for next year as well. Now, I will right off the bat come back and say I haven't spoken about State of Play yet, just because I have felt that maybe my immediate reaction was a bit negative, and that hasn't exactly changed. I still would have wished to have seen something more, but I kind of understand why we didn't. I think there's still going to be something that's going to happen at Summer Games Fest. Same thing happened last year when the Lego Horizon game wasn't announced at the State of Play, that was announced at SGF. So that's probably similar or something that's going to happen this year. But I am rambling on. Let's just get into State of Play. What were the things that I actually enjoyed seeing? So first off, the way the show started was amazing. I'm not the biggest Luminous fan. I've only recently started picking it up and playing it on PlayStation, or PSP I should say, PlayStation Portable. It's not something that I have got into yet entirely, but I am really excited for those massive fans that have had the opportunity to play Luminous over the years. I think this is a great thing that is going to be coming out, and I'm kind of keen to see how it goes. Maybe this is the type of game where I will get into the franchise. I have been playing a bit on PSP, like I said, but really just the tutorial basically levels, just to like try to figure out and understand how it works, and it works really well. It is something that it will be very interesting to actually get into and play a lot more of. So Luminous was a nice way to start the show, but then my favorite announcement from the whole video or the whole State of Play came up relatively, I think about halfway-ish through, and that was finally the confirmation of the Mortal Kombat collection. I am so excited for this. I have never played the original Mortal Kombat games, and I am desperate to. I really want to play those original ones. I would love to get them all on PlayStation 1, obviously, but that's obviously a lot more expensive, and having this collection accessible to us on newer hardware, specifically the PlayStation 5, and with what they announced after that, I'm going to get into that in just a second, is really exciting. I would love to get through that whole Mortal Kombat age. I love the idea of it. I'm super excited to get into it. So that was an amazing announcement to me. But then the surprise happened. The announcement that I did not think Sony would ever really consider doing. It just didn't seem like something that was on their radar. But Sony announced their own fighting stick. And this announcement actually makes more sense when we start looking at the back end or the final announcement of the day. But let's just talk about the fighting stick. I'm excited and concerned. So I'm not the biggest fighting game fan, but I really have been. I really do like playing fighting games. I love Injustice 2. I do enjoy Mortal Kombat. I haven't played Mortal Kombat 1 yet. It wasn't really something I was interested in. Haven't played Street Fighter 6. Haven't played Tekken 8. It's games that I want to get into, but playing them on a normal DualSense isn't always the most comfortable thing. The best time I have with fighting games is actually on the portable devices. I love playing the fighting games on the PSP and the PS Vita. For me, that's the best way to play those games. I just think the controls are a bit tighter and it works a bit better. And I don't know what it is. Maybe there's a lack of latency or something like that. But I'm digressing. The fighting stick to me is very interesting because I thought that maybe, or a couple years ago even, I thought that maybe my barrier to entry is the fact that I'm playing them on these things, and I was actually looking into fight sticks. My concern is if this is a Sony first party product, we're probably not going to be able to do the upgrades. So a lot of the love for the fight stick community comes from the fact that you can upgrade and change certain buttons and the joysticks. I don't see that being a possibility with a OEM product. I don't see Sony being able to allowing us to do that. Now, it might not matter. They might have a very awesome controller and it might work perfectly well. And especially for someone like me that's just starting out, it might be a valid option. So we'll wait to see like prices and stuff, and I might be very interested and might actually end up purchasing this. But yeah, the Fight Stick is something that I'm really, really interested in, and I'm kind of keen to get it in. But it ties very well into the last story, or the last release of the last main segment of the State of Play, and that was the Marvel Token game. And at first I was like, this doesn't really make sense, and then I started to look at it a bit more as a business perspective, or perspective, doesn't matter, you know what I'm trying to say. And it then started to click for me. I was like, oh, Sony have really struggled with their live service games, and this game, I don't want to say is an easy cash grab, but it should be a success. The studios involved are very confident in their abilities, and they do know what they are doing. Sony is only publishing this, so it is a PS Studios release, but they're publishing this game. So they're not directly making the game, they are helping a studio make the game. And with the Marvel brand attached to it and the success of Marvel Rivals, it just seems like an inevitable win. And the fact that we have been waiting years, and I mean, I haven't even played the original Marvel vs. Capcom games, and I really want to get into them because I love the idea of Marvel fighters. Injustice is one of my favorite fighters ever, Injustice 2. And I would love to do that in a universe that I'm more comfortable in. I'm much more inclined to Marvel properties than I am to DC properties. Don't get me wrong, what's been happening with the Marvel Cinematic Universe at the moment has been very much a miss, more so than a hit. But I would love to have a different, I have a much greater affinity towards the Marvel Universe. I love the old comic books. I love the 60s Fantastic Four. It's just, that's my type of comic books. That's where I like to read them. I like the grittier stories in DC, obviously, but I'm digressing a lot. I mean, I'm just saying that I'm really excited for a Marvel fighter. 4 tag fighters might be a bit much for me. I know they say you don't have to learn all 4, and you can just main one and use the other 3 as support. It seems like a lot to get around. I struggle with 2, so it seems like a lot, and I'm not the biggest fighting game fanatic. I'm not the best at fighting games, so it will definitely be a game that I'm probably going to check out very close to, if not a little bit after launch, depending on when they release the the fighting stick controller. I don't think I'm going to get the fighting stick controller like straight away, but it might be something that I will look into purchasing the more information we get from it. It does look very, very cool, and it does look like my ideal situation. One thing that I am a bit wary of is they say it's a wireless controller, but I mean, with a fight stick you're going to have it wired. You want no latency, so I don't want to say don't release it as a wireless option and then use the cable, but I just feel like, why did they need to emphasize the fact that it's a wireless controller? Anyways, I'm just getting way off track. Let's get straight back on track and talking about controllers and one of my favorite series of all time, or my favorite game of all time, one of my favorite games of all time. Astrobot is getting new levels at the end of the month, and I'm so happy for this. They made a big point of noting that there's going to be 90 planets by the end of this, and I just kind of feel like if they're making a point of saying that there's going to be 90 planets at the end of this specific run, I think they're going to go for the 100. I think we're going to have 2 more mini time trial releases, and then we will get all 100 planets, a nice round number, and then they will start maybe thinking about their next title. Now, that isn't the only announcement. They announced that they are doing another Astrobot controller. But they said they're doing it with a twist. So the controller that was being held on the live stream was the Astrobot controller as we know it, just with different eyes. And I kind of figured if that's all they're going to be doing, that's, I don't want to say a little bit sad and a little bit like, okay, I don't know, but I want it to be more. I want this to be that controller that we were all speculating, where the eyes move or something. I don't know how they would do it. I think it'll be a technical or mechanical engineering nightmare. I don't know how they would do it, but I would really appreciate that. I think that is something that a lot of people would appreciate. I would love to have that controller in my collection. Whereas if it's just the change of the face to the one that we saw on screen, I would be a little bit more sad. I think then I would be a little bit more hesitant to purchase another controller. I mean, this year we've already had 1, 2, and we're getting a third one. We're probably going to get Ghost of Yotei. We've had a lot of controllers this year, and it's great. I love controller collecting. It's just getting a tad bit expensive, especially with the price increase that the controllers have had recently. Not going to stop me from buying them. I love these controllers. It is my favorite thing to collect. Like I've said recently, I'm not too fond of purchasing collector's editions and stuff anymore. I don't think that's ever going to be what I want to do. I think I'm going to focus purely on controllers and systems. It's just something that I prefer. They're more usable. I mean, you can actually use these if you really wanted to. I know I've spoken about it. There's certain ones that I don't use because of their colors, but again, I'm going way off topic. Those are the things from State of Play that I really found highlighted. I just want to make sure that you guys know that there are some demos available at the moment. If you are keen on Neo, I've downloaded the Neo demo. Haven't played it. I haven't played Neo 1 or 2. It's a game series that I have to get to. It is on the Astrobot collection list, so it is one that I will eventually get to. So Neo 3 has been announced, which is really cool. And then the other demo is Kine? I don't know. You'll see it on the screen now. I don't know what it is, but it does also look really good. It's a climbing simulator sort of thing. Looks half decent, looks quite interesting. But yeah, what are your highlights from the State of Play? What are you looking forward to? I'm still looking forward to having the Death Stranding announcements coming up sometime soon. I'm going to be very much interested in that. Death Stranding is coming out at the end of the month, and after finishing the first game, and I've put in about another 30 hours, I think. Still haven't platinumed it. I'm trying my best, but I need a little bit of a break from it. I've been doing some other games at the moment. But it is a fantastic game, and I cannot wait for Death Stranding 2 to come out at the end of the month. Guys, let me know what you are most excited for in terms of the State of Play, in terms of Summer Games Fest. We are having the week of gaming. Everyone that managed to get their Switch 2s, congratulations. I hope you guys enjoy them as much as I think I would. Obviously, not really a Nintendo fan, so it kind of would be lost on me. But I'm sure you guys will enjoy them thoroughly. And let me know what you're playing this weekend. Cheers.